In today's video, we will look at a few problems associated with first law of thermodynamics. Problem 1. A sample of monoatomic ideal gas at 2 times 10 to the power 5 Pascal and an initial temperature of 295 Kelvin slowly expands at constant pressure from a volume of 1 liter to 3 liters. Find the work done by the gas. Find the change in the internal energy of the gas and calculate the heat absorbed by the gas during the process. So let's do part A. Find the work done by the gas. By definition, work is pressure times the change in volume. Now we know it is a constant pressure process and it occurs at a pressure of 2 times 10 to the power 5 Pascal. And the change in volume is from 1 liter through 3 liters. But let's express the change in volume in cubic meter. So from liter to cubic meter, we have to multiply by a factor of 10 to the power minus 3. So the change in liter is 3 minus 1. And in order to convert that into meter cube, you multiply that with 10 to the power minus 3. And you get an answer of 400 joules for the work. Now let's do part B. Find the change in internal energy of the gas. The change in internal energy is given by the following expression. The number of moles times specific heat capacity at constant volume, or molar specific heat capacity at constant volume, times the change in temperature. Let's first determine the change in temperature. We know the initial temperature is 295 Kelvin. We don't know what the final temperature is, but we know we are dealing with an ideal gas. So P, initial pressure, that is, Pi, times the initial volume over the initial temperature in Kelvin equals the final pressure times the final volume over the final temperature. Now we know this is a constant pressure process, so this must be the same as that, and they cancel out. So let's substitute the numbers. This involves ratio, so you don't have to convert the liter to cubic meter. The initial volume is 1 liter. The initial temperature in Kelvin is 295. The final volume is 3 liters, and the final temperature can be determined. Solving for the final temperature, you get an answer of 885 Kelvin. What that means is the change in temperature of this gas sample is the final temperature of 885 minus 295. And that will give you 590 Kelvin. Now the only thing that you need to figure out is the number of moles. The number of moles can be determined using the ideal gas equation. PV equals nRT. Now let's determine the number of moles using the initial data. The initial pressure is 2 times 10 to the power 5 Pascal. The volume is 1 liter. So 1 times 10 to the power minus 3 to convert that into cubic meter. The number of mole is what you want to determine. R is 8.1314. And the temperature in Kelvin is 295. So you can determine the number of moles, which turns out to be 0.082 moles. Keep in mind CV, the specific molar heat at constant volume for a monoatomic ideal gas, is 3/2 R. So substituting everything, we can determine the change in internal energy. N is 0.082. CV is 3/2 times R. R is 8.314, the universal gas constant. And the change in temperature is 590 Kelvin. And the answer for the change in internal energy is, the answer for delta U is about 603 joules. Now finally part C, the heat absorbed by the gas during the process. The heat absorbed according to first law of thermodynamics equals to the work done plus the change in internal energy. The work done is 400 joules. The change in internal energy is 603 joules, and that's going to give you an answer of 1003 joules for the amount of heat absorbed. Problem 2. Find the work done by an ideal monoatomic gas during an adiabatic expansion of the gas sample that contains 0.2 moles of gas that goes from 1.2 times 10 to the power 3 Kelvin to 4 times 10 to the power 2 Kelvin during the expansion. So the first law of thermodynamics states the heat added equals to the work done plus the change in internal energy. Now we are dealing with an adiabatic expansion, so there is no change in heat. So that means the work done equals minus the change in internal energy. We are dealing with an ideal monoatomic gas, so the change in internal energy is the number of moles times the specific molar heat and constant volume, that is, times the change in temperature of that gas sample. Now we know the number of moles is 0.2. CV for an ideal monoatomic gas is 3 over 2 times universal gas constant. The change in temperature, the final temperature, is 400 Kelvin. The initial temperature is 1200 Kelvin. That's that. That will give you an answer of positive 1995 joules for the work done. Problem 3. A monoatomic ideal gas has a temperature of 300 Kelvin and a constant volume of 1.5 liter. If there are 3 moles of gas, how much heat must be added in order to raise the temperature of the gas to 400 Kelvin? According to first law of thermodynamics, heat added equals the work done plus the change in internal energy. Now, we're dealing with a constant volume process, so that means the work done is 0. So the heat added equals the change in internal energy. So we can just write it like that. The change in internal energy, as we have seen before, is NCV, the change in temperature. Now, CV for an ideal monoatomic gas is 3 over 2 R. So the expression becomes N 3 over 2 R, the change in temperature. So let's substitute all the numbers. We are dealing with 3 moles of gas times 3 over 2 times 8.314, which is the value for the universal gas constant. The change in temperature is from 300 Kelvin to 400 Kelvin. So 400 minus 300, giving you an answer of 3,741 joules. Now let's do the change in pressure. From the ideal gas equation, you have PV equals nRT. We know the volume is constant, so V delta P equals nR delta T. What I have done is I have taken the differential of both sides of the equation, like that. N and R are constants. So the left-hand side will simply become V times the change in pressure, because the volume does not change. However, from part A you see the heat required is given by that expression. So Q is 3 over 2 N R delta T. So that means N R delta T equals 2 over 3 times that heat. Substituting this expression in here, we get the right-hand side in terms of heat is quite simply 2 over 3 times that heat. So solving for the change in pressure, we get 2 times heat over 3 times that constant volume. Now we know what the heat is from part A. It is 3,741 joules. We know what the volume is at 1.5 liter. So 1.5, convert that into cubic meter. You multiply that with 10 to the power minus 3, and that's going to give you the answer for the change in pressure in Pascal. When you do the calculation, you get 1.66 times 10 to the power 6 Pascal for the change in pressure. Now let's do part C. How much heat would be required if the gas were ideal and diatomic? If the gas was a diatomic gas, the expression for Q is given by N. Now CV for diatomic gas is no longer 3/2 R. Now it is 5/2 R times the change in temperature. So the number of moles is still the same. It's 3 moles times 5/2 times 8.314, and the change in temperature is from 300 Kelvin to 400 Kelvin, so the change is 100 Kelvin, and the answer will be 6,235 joules. Now let's assume you want to determine the raise or the change in pressure if the gas were to be diatomic. So we know, following the case as before, 5/2 R delta T times the number of moles equals to the heat added. But we know from here NR delta T is V delta P. So that means that is equivalent to 5/2 V delta P, giving us an expression for the change in pressure as 2/5 Q/V instead of 2/3 times Q/V for the monatomic case. And let's proceed to determine what the change in pressure is. So 2/5, the heat has been determined to be 6,235 for the diatomic case. The volume is 1.5 liter, so 1.5 times 10 to the power minus 3 cubic meter. And this will give you a value of 1.66 times 10 to the power 6 Pascal for the change in pressure, just like for the monoatomic case. That means the constant volume diatomic gas under the same conditions requires more heat per degree of temperature change because there are more ways for the diatomic molecules to store energy. Despite the extra energy added, the diatomic gas reaches the same final pressure as the monoatomic gas. Thank you for watching.